Okay, what we're doing here is the IF alignment of the sound system on this Admiral 30A1. It uses a split sound and video IF, so rather than a more conventional one with a takeoff point somewhere up in the video stream, it actually has its own IF takeoff point right from the tuner. So let's describe the setup first of all. This is the signal generator. It's an RF signal generator. It's unmodulated, so it's just putting out a clean, it's 21.5 megahertz. You can see that on this frequency counter. You can't trust these dial scales, they're not very accurate, so I use a frequency counter to confirm. Can you get that 21.5 right there? You see it? Mm-hmm. Now up here, the instructions say to set the bias control to 3 volts, so I'm using a Simpson 260 volt ohm meter. 10 volt scale, set to negative, it's minus 3 volts. It's this 10 volt scale, so we're right at minus 3 volts. There's 8, 6, 5, minus 3. So that's ready to go. We've got the correct bias set up. Now let's talk about the actual hookup to this set. Here's your bias hookup, various grounds. I'm connecting this signal generator to the converter tube up top here, so you can get a picture up here. Just going to swing around, don't touch anything. And I've got a metal shield, ungrounded metal shield over the mixer tube, piece of cardboard to keep it from grounding out. That's my matching pad, and this other lead goes back to the frequency counter, so I know exactly what frequency is getting injected. So this is the RF generator input to the tube. This is the frequency counter, and that's how you mix the signal from the signal generator into the tuner, which goes to the IF string. Now the rest of the connections are, I have a Hewlett-Packard 410 VTVM on the 1 volt scale. I'm currently reading about 0.6 volts negative. You should keep this as low as you can so you don't cut off the tube or hit the limiting action or something along those lines. So it says keep this low. That connects up to this point right here on that capacitor. That's one of the connection points. Stay right on it. Hang on. Okay, so what we're talking about here is point Y, and I'm tuned to 21.25 megahertz. While peaking, keep reducing the signal to approximately 1.5 volts. Well, I've got 0.6 volts. That's okay. It actually shows you point Y on the second page. You can see it right there on that 4MFD. That's that blue cap. So we're ready to start peaking. So keep an eye on that VTVM. Yes. And I'm going to slowly peak up these coils. I've already pre-done this, so we shouldn't have any radical adjustments, but I just want to show you how I'm going to do it. Okay, now come over here for a second. Here's the alignment tool. It's a fiberglass rod. I'm going to go in, and it tells me which coils to tune here. It says do A3, 4, and 5. Well, according to that, this one's 3, this one's 5, and 4 is on the top side. So we'll do 5 first. Now I'm going to get on this screw with this fiberglass rod. You need to use fiberglass. Now watch the meter, and I'll adjust the screw. We should see a peak. Coming off peak. A little bit more, and then it starts to go back. Okay, so I'm going to peak back up. There, that's peak there. Just double check. We're still at 21.25. Look down here. I'm still at 21.25 megahertz. And I've adjusted, in this case, A5. I'm going to jump to A3 now, and we will adjust that one using the same fiberglass adjusting tool. Get on that rod. Now we're going to watch the meter. Oops, that's not right. Other way. Right about there. That's peaked. That's 2. Now I have 1 left to do. Now the last one, I'm kind of focused over this way, is on top. So I'm going to have to reach this around. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. You get back on that meter, and I'm going to hook this up and adjust this one the same way. Get on it first. Okay. I'm on the screw. Now I'm going to adjust. Oops, that's not right. Do it the other way. Oh, I'm already pretty much there. Okay, that's just tiny little adjustments. Okay, so we're all good there. It probably went up because I was probably damping out some of the signal getting into it. But as you see, we peaked up a little bit from our starting point. After doing that, the next step is to switch over to point, I believe it's X. There's Z, I'm sorry. I'm going to go to right here, Z now for the next. This is to set the ratio detector. This should read 0 when it's set properly. So I'm going to take my clip lead here. And that point is right here. It's the first terminal on that terminal strip. Now you can see the meter's already reading a little bit of a positive number. Now that let's see if I swing to, that shouldn't move when it's set right. We should be right at 0. That's adjusted by the top screw of the ratio detector. So I'm going to go back there with my alignment tool. I can't touch the metal because if I will, I'll detune it. So you have to use an alignment tool. So let me look and see what I'm doing here. Stay on that meter. And I'm going to go right here. It might jump around a little bit when I'm getting hooked up here. It's kind of hard to get hooked up at first. There, I'm on it. Now I need to get my hands away from it so I'm not touching it. Okay, now we're going to move this, and it should swing from plus to minus, but just a minor turn here will do that. That's the wrong way. Now I want to get it right at 0. Right there. Now to double check it, we'll just flip the meter. Ideally, you have no movement. There you go. That's going from plus to minus readings. Okay, and now we are aligned. And we're still reading, double check this down here. I'm still reading at 21.245, that's close enough. So that should conclude the alignment of the IF for the sound system. I'll do the video later. Thank you very much.